Scalable data analytics takes work. Many organizations today have achieved some level of data analytics capabilities. They've started to use data in their decision making. They've started to use it very, let's say, more tactically on a case-by-case instance, making sure that it is embedded through the organization, embedded into the decision-making methodology, takes a different level of focus and commitment. What we're going to talk about today is understanding maybe where you are as an organization on a data analytics maturity model. So as we think about data analytics maturity model, there's 4 stages that you'll tend to hear within the industry. You'll hear organizations talk about kind of a stage 1 being a descriptive analytics, and then stage 2 being more of a diagnostic, stage 3 predictive, stage 4 more of prescriptive. And it's about a matter of when we think about descriptive, a lot of it's focused in the past. Can we describe what has happened? So what happened in the past? When we think about diagnostic, we think about why did it happen? Again, happened in the past, but why did it happen in the past? What drove it? What was the root cause? As we think about predictive, now we start to think about what is going to happen moving forward. So it's a shift from looking kind of backwards to forward on what do we think is going to happen logically based on maybe the past. What do we think is going to happen in the future? And then finally, prescriptive is more about, well, what action needs to be taken based on what we're predicting. So then it's a matter of being able to get to more of a true, let's call it more of a automated type capability, and think about it also as you move into like a artificial intelligence world, how you start to actually take action based on what the results are. So we see these 4 stages of data analytics. So the next thing we want to talk about is with each one of those stages, there's kind of a critical actions that take place. If we think about kind of that stage 1 descriptive, that's a base level of what we like to kind of data literacy. You're trying to get the organization really to start adopting the fact of data-driven decision making and get them to understand the value of the data and changing the dynamic to building this type of analysis capability into the enterprise. When we think of diagnostic, you start to actually help being able to make decisions. What happened in the past? Well, what do we need to decide to go forward with, hopefully, which will change the future? Predictive is a little bit more about getting to the point of understanding the future and then taking actions. And then ultimately, when you start getting into the prescriptive, you're really talking about creating complete solutions and really changing the game as an organization. Another perspective to think about is, as we think of descriptive diagnostic, these first 2 stages, it's really, you also hear the word kind of insight. It's an insight into, again, what happened. Typically, this is being conducted in the enterprise around what you would think around business analysts. So you got a bunch of different business analysts and different business functions, and they're analyzing the data in their function of what kind of a rear view mirror view of what happened in the past. When you start moving to predictive and prescriptive, that's when you start to truly get more to a data science level of capability, and you move more to that, instead of a business analyst, more of a data scientist type individual and role within the organization. So it's a difference between kind of that real focus level of really data literacy, data capability, versus now you got professionals and this is what they do, being able to analyze and predict and do more from a quantitative type analysis and a statistics level of analysis, along with even a calculus level. So that's where we talk about kind of this hindsight, foresight. And we also think about these first 2 stages of being more foundational. You got to start there. You're not going to jump to stage 3, jump to stage 4. it's a maturity that needs to occur. So there's foundational pieces in stage 1 and 2 that must be accomplished. And then you start moving, once you move into stage 3 and 4, that's when you can start truly getting to more of a differentiated capability. The other thing that we do is, what we've done is we think about, there's these 4 stages, which are more common definition, but we then also layer that into what we call a maturity model to say that stage 1 is more of a beginning aspect. You're kind of creating some of that basic capability. Then you move into more of a developing that capability. And then you start moving into truly practicing it and making it part of your organization and part of your decision-making process. And then finally, we start getting to a leading capability. That's when you can get to that differentiation. So this is the model that we think of, and we think about what are those things that the organizations are doing in, say, level 3 and level 4, that the organizations that are still trying to get the foundation in place in level 1 and level 2. And a lot of this is being, instead of a very tactical capabilities or tactical solutions and doing data analysis on a reactive basis, it's how do you develop more of that scalability across the enterprise to be able to support and make more effective decisions.